Hey guys, my name's Ryan. I'm a videographer living in Brazil, but I'm from New Zealand. I'm terribly sorry if the audio is terrible today. Unfortunately, I don't have my normal microphone with me. However, moving on, I am doing a test today of two fisheye adapters. Well, I refer to them as fisheye adapters, are actually wide angle adapters. One of them is the Vivitar Series 1, which I believe is 0.43 magnification. Yep, 0.43, and this Zeikos 0.45 magnification wide angle lens adapter. Personally, I don't tend to use these unless I have a good reason for using it. If it's a shot I just can't get any other way, or if I want a fisheye look for creative reasons. So, without going any further into that, I will put these on to the lenses. Oh, the lenses I'm using is first the STM lens that comes with my 70D. It's the kit lens 18 to 55, so I'll test it at 18. The other lens I'm going to test them both on, is the Nifty 50, Canon 50mm 1.8. The main reason for doing it on this particular lens as well is because it's a known quantity. It's been around for a long time and you can compare. Now, because it's a 70D, it does have a chromatic aberration setting, which I've disabled. So this is going to be as if it's more or less T5i, T3i. You should have similar results to what I'm getting. Anyway, without any further, I'll get into the testing. Okay, so this is the 18 to 55mm Canon STM lens that came with the 7D kit. I've currently got it at 18mm, which is around about a 28-29mm equivalent on full frame. Now with the adapter, it actually brings it back to about 13mm full frame. As you'll see, there's actually quite a bit of vignetting around all the edges, and you'll also see that you do get that significant fisheye. Now, just for the sake of testing with this particular lens, if I zoom in, okay, now I've zoomed into around about just under 24mm, and it's removed the vignetting. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't want the vignetting, you're going to have to zoom in a little bit on this particular lens, and this is using the Zeikos HD DSLR wide angle adapter, which is 0.45 times magnification. Now, just to see the difference, I will try to remove it without giving. This does fit nice and tight, just so you can see the difference. And it's not exactly plain. It's not nice because you've got these two rings. You've got a modular setup, so you've got macro, and then it also has an attachment for the wide angle. So there we go. It's about to come off there. There's with the adapter, that's normal. So you don't really see a huge difference, but you can see on the right hand side those stairs versus being cropped in. Okay, so this lens here, it's still the Canon 18 to 55 STM lens, same composition, but this time it's the Vivitar Series 1, which is very similar to the Zeikos one, except it's a 0.43 magnification. Now you'll notice again you've got the vignetting around the sides. Now you may be thinking that this guy really loves his wide angle lens adapters, and the fact is I actually don't like them at all. Both of them came with other accessory bundles, so I'm just going to take this one off, which this one's actually a bit nicer to put on and take off. It's all coming off as a single unit rather than the coming off one part at a time like the Zeikos did. So, however, it is still, you know, macro and wide angle. So that's your, there we go. There's your 18mm wide angle versus that. So I did knock it a little bit because you can see the stairs there just peeking in on the right hand side. Now I'm just going to do the same test for, if I can get it back on, for how much you have to zoom in to get rid of the vignetting. So here we go, we're zoomed right there, we're at 18 and it's actually about the same. Just trying to, this one's a little bit touchier. There we go. That one looks like it's around 21-22 mil. Unfortunately, I don't have a reading right in front of me, so I'm just judging on the lens. But again, to get rid of the vignetting, you still have quite a bit more than the previous adapter. So now we're going to step over to the Canon 50mm, which brings it back down to, I think it was around about 35mm equivalent with the adapter. Okay, so I've just put on the Canon 50mm 1.8, it's set at f11, so everything is visible. Now, it's slightly overexposed actually, but this is just a test anyway. Now, one thing I forgot was my step-up ring for this particular lens. So I'm just going to hold it in front so you get an idea about it. This one here is the Zeikos 0.45, which you can see does make quite a dramatic difference. So this is effectively a turns it into a 36mm equivalent. There's a little bit of shaking because I'm manually holding it and the autofocus decided to kick in. Okay, still on the Canon 50mm 1.8. This is the newer Vivitar adapter. So I'm going to have to hold it in front because I don't have the step-up ring for it. And I will just actually make my life a little bit easier, put it into manual. Hopefully there'll be a little bit less shake, but there we go. So there's the natural shot and there we go with the adapter. Not quite so much on this one, a little bit more vignetting by the looks of it on the left hand side. The next thing is, unfortunately this isn't a great spot to test chromatic aberration, but there may be noticeable on the horizontal stripes if there is any. However, I will do a very quick additional test with the STM lens, just specifically, you know, in a slightly different environment, and that will come in a minute. Okay, so this is the Vivitar wide-angled adapter. I decided to use this particular scene because we've got on the right hand side a darkness from the window. On the left hand side we've got a bit of darkness on the that frame, which is actually to the fireplace. Now just here I can actually see on the right hand side on the frame there is some little aberrations there and a little bit on the left, but more when it gets a bit darker on the right. I'm just going to switch over now so we can see the Zeikos. I'm going to get that right one of these days. Okay, and here we have the Zeikos. I can see a little bit of aberration on the right hand side. However, it doesn't look to be anywhere near as bad as the aberration on the Vivitar. For what it's worth, for actually shooting with it, I do prefer to use the Vivitar. However, the image does look just a little bit better on the Zeikos. This particular lens as well I have had for a little while. I've had it for about a year. It came with a bundle I got when I got my T4i. The Vivitar one arrived just yesterday when I got it with my 70D. So again, just to point out that the camera aberration correction, the lens correction, that has been turned off and disabled. And yeah, any questions, let me know. Alright guys, well those are the tests. I'm about to go upstairs to the last part, which is a bit of a chromatic aberration test of the dark object against the light object. Not quite sure what if we're going to see anything more than what we've seen already. However, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the two adapters, which was the Zeikos, however it's supposed to be pronounced, and the Vivitar Series 1, drop me a line. Also, if you have any questions, live shooting, gotta love it. If you have any questions about the Canon 70D, the 18-55mm STM lens, or the nifty 50mm 1.8 Canon lens, feel free to drop me a line. Have a good one.